Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejasa Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Parvavahi Tejasvinavadhi Tamastu Ma Vidvishavahi पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase
Namaskar, everyone, and welcome to our meeting today. And we want to welcome our viewers both on Zoom and on YouTube. Just a reminder that we're going to stay on YouTube for video streaming. I want to thank you for yesterday, for your attendance yesterday, and we realized that we had much more than 100, and so we happy today to extend the YouTube for those of you who are there, so that you can also view us via YouTube. And we're going to continue to stream through YouTube as well. It was a joy to be with you yesterday, and I'm happy to be with you today as well. Tomorrow and on Sunday, I'll be off the afternoon video streaming, but we'll have morning streams on the YouTube and also on live stream, and we'll resume next week with afternoon if necessary. Otherwise, we'll have the morning, and perhaps I'm not sure. I'll have to discuss it because we can also be interactive in the morning for a short time. So I'll discuss that with my team. We look to see whether we can bring the Zoom to you in the morning as well, so I can be interactive with you after my meditation and talk. We explore that and let you know. But I want to be as interactive with you as I possibly can. And those of you on Zoom, we'd like you to show your faces, because if you want to be private, you can just go across to YouTube and stay private as a viewer. But if you're on Zoom, we expect that you'll want to participate in some way. And so please, we'd love to see your video if you're on Zoom. Otherwise, you can just stay safely and on YouTube without having to participate. Okay? So thank you once again for joining, and it's a time for us to come together as seekers, as members of a spiritual community and friends, to really boost our confidence at every level and also our well-being. So we want to sustain that. And for us, it's an opportunity to use the technique that we use of meditation and of energy work to support it. Since this is new, I'm exploring every possible way that I can support you. And I want to thank those of you who sent in your email comments. And I saw from Prabha that she has questions that you can send in as well. She has an email with questions. So if you want to write into us, you can do so. We'll monitor your questions, and I can get it from the monitor, the person who's monitoring. So thank you so much. And of course, if you have questions, you can raise your hand. But today, what I want to do is that I want to speak to you a little bit, and then direct the way we interact in terms of conversation. So let's begin with a meditation. Already I can feel that your energies are with me, and that's excellent. So we have been prepped from yesterday to stay in that subtle connection, that energy connection. So I can feel your presence already, and that's amazing and beautiful. So let's center within, coming into present moment awareness, being here and now. Let's take a moment to really appreciate what centering means. The ego, or the consciousness of self, is in the mind. The mind is the one who says, I am, of course, through the voice, but the concept is in the mind. So the mental field has the ego. So it's extremely important to posture the ego in a desire to be silent and to be in surrender. Just to let go. So take a moment just to breathe away all the thoughts that appear in your space. Just breathe it away. A nice, long, slow out breath. Taking your attention down the body, right down to the root of the spinal column in the perineum area. Just breathe out completely, grounding. And as you breathe in gently, consciously, opening up the belly to breathe, opening up the chest to breathe, breathing into the throat area, and focusing on the back of the neck and into the brain, third eye focus. And as you breathe in, just center in this infinite space of mind, infinite mind, letting go of thoughts. So this is a co-created field. Means our consciousness is linked together. As we open our minds to the collective consciousness and energy of the space. Silent mind. Just being the observer of the mental space. Continue with the rhythmic breathing. And staying centered in the posture of the observer. Observer of the thought space. Now focus at the third eye position. For some of you, you will feel energetically drawn there. That's a good sign. For some of you, it will require a little more effort. But you can make it happen. And just enjoy breathing Breathing is an energy exercise. Vital currents of energy called prana and apana are involved in the breathing. Prana to open up the lungs, expand the lungs, bring in the in-breath, and apana that pushes the breath out. Now just take a moment to focus on belly breathing. So your mind or consciousness now is down to the belly area, navel area. And remember that an effective out-breath helps you to have an effective in-breath. Belly focus, mind is down to the belly. So you're building strength in the enteric nervous system of the gut. Very powerful area. Nice, slow breathing. This is one way of bringing the vital core of your body into visibility, into your visibility. Again, if you are energetically aware, what may happen is that you begin to feel energies at these points. If you do, just flow with it. Flow with the energy, work with that. And if you don't, just enjoy belly breathing, deep diaphragmatic breathing. The awareness will come to you. You're already in a wellness practice, stress relieving practice. Now, if you can stretch your consciousness a little bit, we are all doing this in the same consciousness space, the hub of existence. The center that you go to is the same center that I go to, and we all go to. Hold this awareness that we are together in the hub of existence. The center that you go to is the same center that I go to, we all go. Now, take your attention to the heart area, the center of the chest, and just open up to loving being, lovingness. We all know what loving means. Take attention to the heart area, the center of the chest. Just open up to loving being, lovingness. This holy intention within you. I open my heart. That a love from the core of my being, the divine center of being, will flow in and through me. That's the intention. So each time you breathe in, you center in the heart. And each time you breathe out, you're sending love out of the heart. This is a big boost to immunity. There's tremendous joy in me just to do this. Knowing that I'm nourishing my being. Knowing that I'm co-creating with the universe. tapping into its infinite love. For those of you who might be feel a little physically devitalized, just continue breathing in the gut before you go to the chest. Or if you can fill that area just beneath the rib cage as you breathe in, you might be surprised at how much more vital you feel. Or if you can fill that area just beneath the rib cage as you breathe in, you might be surprised at how much more vital you feel. The heart center influences touch, skin awareness. The heart center influences touch. And now you take your attention to the throat as you breathe. So you have a vital core that you've been breathing into the gut, an energized emotional space, and breathe into the throat, extending the consciousness of your mental field. Breathe into the throat and connect to the center of the eyebrow via the medulla at the back. Breathe into the throat, extending the consciousness of your mental field. Breathe into the throat and connect to the center of the eyebrow via the medulla at the back. Open up to infinite mind. It's easier now. Infinite self. And let's hold our world and each other in this beautiful space of energetic oneness, in a space of peace, of love, and of vitality. Honoring the Supreme as the source of all power within us, all prana, all wisdom, all goodness. Let's hold our world in this sphere. Your parents, siblings, friends, children. Hold them in this field of light. May you stay well. May you be strong. May you be healed. May you be lifted in consciousness. May you be revitalized. Extend these intentions to the world around you. The more centered you are, the more effective is the power of your intention. Stay with this. For some of you, you can repeat a mantra as you focus on just channeling towards all our world community. Just think of light, healing light, being showered upon our planet from within and from the forces of the light outside of us. This is a powerful healing field. This can keep you revitalized, boosted in immunity, and it will lift the collective energy. of the world community. Hold your countries in your mind and the international community. And let's slowly bring our attention back to the physical space. Giving attention to the physical senses and to the world around you. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you, everyone. I hope that you've been energized by the experience. And I'm going to continue to support you in these gatherings by the collective work we're doing, that we can support our world coming into a space of higher consciousness through this challenge and higher energy. Of course, I'm sure you will agree that this has all meaning and purpose. That these things don't appear at random. So some scientists, medical scientists and others, they've been predicting this, that a virus will come that we're not able to manage. But I think in the world community, we're not so serious about it if it's not there. And then when it happens, then we find ourselves really struggling to meet with the challenge. So I would like to think that nature is challenging us to boost up our defenses, to be stronger, to be more alert, to be more prepared, and to be more in working with the social consciousness or the social connections we have with our entire world. So I'm sure that the challenge is a very positive one. And all we need to do, as I always say, is to work with the universe or co-create with the universe the solutions that will be there in the space. Whenever the universe challenges us, it also gives us, which is the aspect of grace, the solutions that we can use. And I think the world now is struggling to find that, but they will. Of course, we human beings are resourceful and we will. Only question is when. And but it's a challenge we should all feel grateful for, that we can see where our weaknesses lie and we can strengthen that. Of course, like I said to you, over the 40 days, I'm going to continue to use all the teachings and practices to support your well-being and to prevent or to stave off illnesses. So I'm looking forward to that. At the age of my body now, it's always a tremendous amount of joy to engage all these practices every day, to stay on top of the wellness game, as I would say. So I'm going to create a little bit of conversation here, and I'm going to ask you to comment on the idea that the universe is putting a challenge before us, and we have the power to connect with grace, to find out personally what we can do as individuals or as communities or as groups, to meet with that in a very positive way, to see the challenge in a very positive way, and to see that we can find solutions. The universe will give us those if we really seek it. So wherever the challenge is, the solutions are also there. So it's really a very powerful divine game. So would anybody like to comment to this or to add? Bhaktan sent me a lovely email today explaining a little more of what he was trying to say today. So maybe I'll start with Bhaktan. You give us a little more information as a medical doctor in the community. You may want to speak to this from the spiritual dimension that you also are aware of. So let's go to Bhaktan. And thank you for your contribution yesterday, and thank you for your email.
Thank you, Guruji. Is it okay now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Nee, we horen hem niet meer.
No.
Ik heb iets verkeerds ingedrukt, denk ik.
Something wrong here?
Jij deed in het midden voor gisteren iets.
Yes?
Yes, now I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Yeah, first of all, yesterday I said, and perhaps that was too quick, I tried to explain what in the medical field it was happening since many years, that we were expecting a virus that would be so different than the viruses we know until now, that humankind has to get used to, so our immune system isn't aware of this virus. So the whole world has the same problem and has to adapt to the new virus, like we have seen in 1919 with the Spanish flu, which had many casualties for several reasons, because it was just after World War I and etc. And what you see now, perhaps on a more spiritual level, is that now this new virus is here, and the whole world has to adapt, and we are in a different situation, which is really positive also, because we are reacting differently.
Bhaktan, will you stop? Will you hold for a moment? I think we have an audio issue. Is the volume down on the TV? Yeah, it's down. Okay. Whilst we just want to Bhaktan for a moment, we just want to hold there because there seems to be an issue. So we want to try somebody else. Who would like to speak again in the meantime? Okay. Whilst we just want to Bhaktan for a moment, we just want to hold there. So we want to try somebody else. Who would like to speak again in the meantime? Let's take Diane for a moment, if she's Raluca from Romania. Let's try the sound of Diane. Let's take Diane for a moment, if she's Raluca. Oh no. we have the same issue.
Hello? Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you now.
Okay, namaskar everyone. So for me is a dream come true that we are now together, all of us, and trying to do something. And what I realized during this crisis is that somehow the planet is trying now to connect us with what we really are. And what I realized during this crisis is that and put us in another position. It put us in the position to come each other. And
all right, Danny, can we stay for a moment? Backton, I think we have solved the problem. Can we come back to you? We come back to you, Danny, after. Let's go to Backton first. Yeah, so now we are better.
Yes. Okay. Namaskar again to you,
Yeah,
Guruji.
thank you. Thanks to our AV team.
Yeah. What I try to say is that we're in a quite different position now as a world community, in my opinion, that we are coping in a very nice way. Also, of course, relatively, but that's what we have with this virus. What I like very much is that we are taking care of those who are vulnerable and the elderly. And we're not cynical about that, but we really are as a world community, and you see that in every country, that we try to protect those that are vulnerable. And that's the whole issue that we're dealing with now, because 85% will just have a sniffing nose and will cope very nicely with the virus, medically speaking. But those that are vulnerable, we try to protect them, and that's why we have all these measures that we're taking, not to overload the medical system. And that's really wise, because when the virus is spreading too quickly, we all know that, then the medical system will have an overload, and we can't help those that are vulnerable. And that's what we're doing. And I like that all over the world, in every country, that's how we look at this situation. So that's more on a worldly scheme. And for all of us personally, it's an opportunity to see what's happening really inside of ourselves, and how we react, where it's really what it's triggering inside, and that's where
okay. How would you apply a spiritual kind of way of meeting the challenge?
Personally?
Yeah, from your practices as a
for my practice,
speaker.
First of all, I feel very comfortable in the whole situation. So, and I see around me a lot of fear. So it brings out in me the need to help in my workplace, with others, and just to be around them where I can. I have I'm supposed to work at home, But in one of the workplaces I work, people are forced. How do you say that? They must be in the workplace because it's their kind of work. So I go to them and try to support them, and they like that. So that's just a little things that we can do. Like I said yesterday, keep our head cool and our hearts open.
Yeah, thank you very.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Bhaktan. I do appreciate that. Okay, can we go to Danny, please?
You hear
Yes,
me?
Danny.
So somehow I feel that these lessons, it's a lesson for us, for all of us, for the entire world. It's a lesson. It's not a Romanian lesson or a Holland lesson, or it's a world lesson, and we all must come together and listen to the teacher, which is the universe, and we are forced to have some conclusions that are behind our mind and coming from our soul and coming back to where we really are, because in this material form we are attacked by all kinds of bugs and microbes and material things and money problems, and we are so vulnerable. And somehow this lesson is higher than us. And of course, we try to do our best to support each and everyone there around us and try to rise the consciousness level of the planet with little advices, with what can we do? We have so little things to do. So we are so vulnerable. I feel now that we are like babies fighting with a giant. But physically it's
Okay, so
invisible.
what would you say? Yeah, what would you say that we can do in being a spiritual seeker? What is the extra power that we have to treat with this?
We have the power to be in the position of observer, beyond what we're doing every day in our duty. I'm trying to comfort people, to give them all I know and all I can, but I always try to stay in the position of the observer and try to give them an advice from this position and try to make them see that is something beyond this crisis.
Okay, that's a good one. So I'll stay with that. So thank you so much, Raluca, Diane. And so what we are hearing is the Bhaktan came with the helping each other, bringing out that caring and loving for community. And I like that very much. And he says that it shows that now we have to give attention to those who are older and who can be more challenged, to give attention to them. So I like that very much. And here Diane is saying that we should invoke that witnessing practice to be more aware in every space. And but I want to say to you that we have an energy system within us. We have a powerful energy system within us that I teach you about all the time. How do we use that system of energy within you? And some of you would have varying experiences of this. This is what I use every day, and this is what is extremely important for me. I use the breathing every day. I use exercise every day, I would say, in some form or the other. And but what is more important is how centered I am in the operating system of the body. How centered am I in the operating system of the body? Am I more in my head? Am I more in my emotional being? Am I in the lower area, the core, but in a panicky mode? Am I aware that I have the power to channel energies through my physical body, bones and flesh? Am I aware that there's a spiritual center to do that? Am I aware that my energy being, my subtle energy being, that is the operating system of the body, has centers across the body, along the spinal column and in the brain, that if we're able to connect to, if we're able to center in and we're able to channel through those, we'll realize that the most powerful thing that we have can hold the body in such a space of light and such a space of energy that this body can stay well. It's an opportunity that we don't use enough. And I'm not speaking about the awareness of enlightened beings. I'm speaking of the awareness that you have of loving, not just waiting on the universe to bring an opportunity for you to love, but the idea of knowing that love is an energy from the heart of my being, the core of my being, that I can channel in every moment. Why should we wait for a moment to let that love come out from something on the outside? When someone says something nice to us, or someone says, I love you, or someone gives us something, then that loving kind of energy comes out then. It's conditional. Because that energy feels so good, so nourishing, so uplifting, so unifying. Why don't we create a consciousness of being in love? Being in love is a state of being in every moment. Because the power of immunity that comes from love is amazing. And that's just one. Power of the emotional being that comes from our quantum self or energy self. Power of vital being that comes from the very core. Power of the procreative energies that can really boost our consciousness with vitality. And the power of the root to hold the body. If you're going to pour water into a glass, you need to hold the glass firmly. Because if your hold is loose, whatever you're pouring wouldn't go into the glass. So you need to learn to center in these energies, even if you cannot find these chakras within you, but they are qualities. The quality of the emotional space, it's love. You can open yourself to be loving, whether you can feel it from a chakra or not. The quality of the core vitality, you feel it whenever you exercise and use your core power and breathe into it. You feel the power, even if you can't feel the navel chakra. When you go right down to the root of the body and stay centered in the physicality of the body, you are tapping into the base chakra. So the base chakra holds you into the body so that when you channel energies into the body, you can actually feel these energies flowing through the body. You need body awareness. And then you have throat energy. What is the energy that you begin to experience as you chant mantras? And then there's a subtle energy of sound. So even if you are not chanting with a voice to bring the vocal power, you can actually chant, and it still involves the area in the subtle space. And then the throat space is an expansive space. It brings expansive awareness to everything, to your love, to your vitality, to everything. And of course, mind is the most powerful. You can boost the brain, you can energize brain cells just by focusing at the center of the eyebrows. So these are practices I want to engage you in. But it is more importantly first for you to consider it a possibility that you want to be engaged in such a way. When you actually immerse in your own love, and you can actually feel this love oozing out of you, Whether your friends are next to you or they're in their own homes, the same kind of energy flows when you think about them. So this social isolation is only physical. We still can connect to each other in the meditative space, of course, and we have the technology now that we can use a video speech and we can listen to each other, see each other. So that's added. When you can feel his energy inside, even if you look at someone, you can feel the energies as you look at them. And even if they're shut off from your visibility, you can connect with them from the inside. And this is an amazing experience. So you have the power within your own being to enhance every level of your body. And of course, this system within you, this energy system is connected to your biology. So you can channel energies to every organ in the body, to every cell in the body. And it's an exciting time now to come into energy awareness and possibilities and consciousness. This is the greatest wisdom I've gained in the early years of my life. And it is what carries me through the life process, the sustaining energy of my soul being, of my energy being. And I try to heighten this consciousness with all of you. It's already operating in you. It's only for you to become conscious of it. Love is already coming out of your heart chakra. It's to be conscious that this is coming from a space inside of your energy body. And it's not just a molecular thing or a chemistry thing. It's an energy experience. Or the energy of a thought. When you think a very positive thought, it energizes you. So I want to bring every facet of these practices to you as we come into the 40 days, every possible way of holding yourself in energy, whether you're exercising, whether you're breathing, no matter what you do, energy awareness, energy consciousness is extremely important. And when we can become aware of energies, can you imagine what it is like to communicate with someone, looking at them or listening to them, and can feel the energies of their presence, can feel the energies of the interaction? This is something you can learn now very powerfully. And my thinking is that if you're becoming more involved in this, it's the right karmic moment, an opportunity for you to learn. So when I think of what practices I can give you to stay strong in your immune system, we can talk about all the supplements and the herbs we can take, but more importantly is how can we use the energies that are within our own being to boost us to the maximum. That's what's more important. Is it an opportunity lost when we don't engage in these practices enough? Is it an opportunity lost? But here we have a community that can go deeper into the consciousness of self and deeper into the practices that can really engage us in enhancing our well-being and immunity. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an opportunity now to speak to this. I'll just spend a little time, those who want to confirm the practices you're doing, support the practices I'm speaking about, and looking forward to working together as a collective group. Anybody who would like to speak to this? Take a moment just to think about it. Yeah, I see that Vivekananda Yan is just a moment, we're waiting for Vivekananda to come on the spotlight. Oh, there we have him.
Yes, now I am unmuted. Namaskar, everybody. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Why does this? I'm extremely excited about the lessons you just shared with us, the boost of the immune system. And I'm so excited to share a little story with you that I experienced this afternoon, which is, I believe, totally in line with what you were just saying. I'm in my home here, and I have to stay home, but I have a big garden, so I can go outside. But so once in a while, I have to go to the supermarket, and it seems to be nowadays quite a dangerous exercise to go to get some groceries. So I was on my bike, and I was thinking, oh my God, what is this, what I'm going to do? And I hope I will survive. And oh, Jesus, and what's going to happen? And then suddenly the Om Trayambakam mantra came to me, and I started singing it. And I started singing it out loud when I was on my bike. And I felt really very good. I felt very protected. And I thought, all right, okay, so what I can do is I just go into the supermarket and I keep everybody lovingly in a safe distance.
Excellent.
1.5 meters. And I just kept on repeating the Om Trayambakam mantra. And it was fun, actually. And I saw everybody in a safe distance. And I thought, wow, this is so beautiful how I can move in this supermarket, which is kind of rather dangerous. And then I thought, well, but this is really fun. Everybody in a safe distance. And when I went back home, I had my groceries and I was on the bike again. And then I felt that my solar plexus was so active. It was so strong.
Excellent.
And I felt really very good. So that's totally in line with, at least I believe it's totally aligned with what you just shared. But what I see when I'm at home here now is that I'm just extremely excited to 40 days to start, because I'm building my own ashram here. I'm having my own private ashram. I have a very strict rhythm in the day. I get up at 6 in the morning. I go to sleep at 10 in the evening. I make sure that I don't see too much TV and don't watch too many news channels. I really have to control myself and boost myself and keep an open heart, because otherwise I think it will drive me nuts, because there's so much to worry for everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Vivekananda. Yeah, that's really a marvelous way of treating with this. And I love that you, the Trayambakam came to you, and it must be that you're doing it, that it came to you. And I'm happy that it carried you through, and the intention that you had to treat everybody with love and to be open and to be free, and of course, cautious, but amazing. It's a marvelous story. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anyone else who would like to share? Feel free for the opportunity to tell your stories, tell how you're dealing with it. And
you can speak.
Oh, yeah, here we have Bhavani and Ramana.
Namaskar, Gurudev. Namaskar to Bluestar family.
Namaskar to you both.
Oh, wow, Guru. This is a great opportunity. So inspiring. But I feel the 40 days has begun already. So no difference. This is a beautiful opportunity. I feel that in my little experience so far with this virus is It's a great opportunity for spiritual growth. I feel I'm meditating more. I have more time of consciousness. So it's a great opportunity for growth. I see it so positively. So I feel this 40 days is going to be one of the best best to come. Because as Vivek said, you know, the body, the mind, the subtle body, everything has become so connected globally. These exercises, these things that we're putting together, come together in Zoom, is boosting us great for our practice. So it is so beautiful. And as I said, you know, when you go out, you feel, because you have that connection with that great guru power, that you go out into the community and just a smile to people, and it makes, because you talk about the love. So this is a great opportunity for us to grow leaps and bounds with all you've been, you know, teaching us all these years. So, and it's so beautifully, our Bluestar family is sharing the same feeling. So I feel this is a great opportunity, Guru. So everything will come unfold beautifully. So thank you so much for your inspiration, and we look forward to your guidance always. Thank you all. Namaskar.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ramana. Yes, would anybody else like to speak?
Namaskar, Guru. Namaskar,
Namaskar, Kripa.
Yeah, I've quite maybe a little bit the same story as Vivekanand. I work with very vulnerable children. Yesterday and today I was working with a boy, and I went singing from him the Om Trayambakam mantra, and I just sang it once, and immediately he sang it beautifully, the same way I did. It's marvelous, and I don't understand, because when I sing to someone, nobody can sing it directly, but he did. And today we meditate together, and we closed again with Om Trayambakam mantra. We went biking outside and we sang it on our bikes. And this afternoon I was at home, and I went to the shop, and I was singing loud, and the people say, "Oh wow, I wish everybody was singing nowadays," because there was running at some stuff. But it is really, really wonderful what's happening.
Thank you, Kripa. Really appreciate that. And would anyone again? Oh, this is Indu.
Namaskar, Guruji.
Namaskar, Indu.
Namaskar, everybody. A few days ago, I had a quite bad night that I didn't sleep very well. So in the morning, I woke up, both physically, but I think the most important was the meaning in the waking up, that I found that I had lost my being centered in the divine. And during my visit in the ashram, you asked, how do we test ourselves whether we made the shift, you know? So I thought, wow, this virus I can use to test whether I make a real shift or not.
Yeah.
So it was very nice to use that experience in ashram now in these challenges. And then I asked myself, when I don't sleep very well, where am I centered before I go to bed, you know, and where I am centered when I'm listening to the news and all the fears in my environment and the challenges that came into my family because of the virus. So I opened the meditation from one of these days, and there you said, only when the ego can surrender, it can get real power. And then I realized that these divine powers are about the energies you were talking about just a few minutes ago, you know. And so I very consciously decided to be focused on that and to center myself in the divine and to test myself many times a day where I centered. So the restfulness came back in my mind again. And now it's like the energies, or maybe I should say the consciousness, I don't know, in the field is growing. When I see how I can hold my my family in my consciousness and my heart, and then there is no distance, there is no time, there's kind of oneness with them, and holding them in the light and doing the same with my own cells and my body. The powers came back in my energies again. And so then I thought, wow, it's even possible to stay even-minded in this challenge when we really centered in the divine and using these powers as you're teaching us.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it's very nice to maintain that kind of consciousness because it influences those around you.
Yes,
so
that's what I see.
And
yes.
I love that before you go to bed, you look at your energies and look to see where you're centered and try to come into a more harmonious state before you go to bed, because your subtle energies was going to predominate in your sleep.
Sure.
So I think amazing. So excellent. Yeah.
You,
so here's where we'll do our meditation, our closing meditation. And I want to thank you for your contributions. So let's come back into that space of togetherness on the inside, in the subtle field of being, where we can connect with our world, with each other across our world. Let's center in the heart, that place where we can meet together in joy. Just breathe deeply into the chest. And as we breathe out, just extend the love in the out breath to our bodies, to ourselves, to our friends, to our families, to our communities, to our countries, and to the world. We are one in consciousness. We are one in the field of love. And hold the consciousness of the importance of the human species on the planet. We have the most evolved brain on the planet that gives us more consciousness, that allows more conscious manifestation, or manifestation of consciousness. We are responsible for what's happening on the planet, beside the natural forces. Let's take that opportunity to use this inner power of positive thinking, positive visualizations, and lovingness of being to create the intention of well-being across our planet, in nature, in our fellow human beings, in all species of life. Let's hold the image of well-being across our world. And extending a prayer, a prayerful intention that those who are challenged will be lifted to meet that challenge. And that those who are stronger will support those who are weaker. And our world will come together as one. Let's hold that intention. That our world will come together as one. We love you, our world. We are part of each other. We survive because of each other. We are well because of each other. May all leaders across the world be heightened in this consciousness of unity and oneness and respect for each other. And hold that intention within your whole being. That one love must pervade in our world, one consciousness. And let's make it happen now. In this moment. Beginning with us. And here's where we'll repeat the Om Triambakam mantra to invoke its power and to channel the energy of this mantra to our world. The mantra says, we honor you, O Supreme One. We meditate upon you. We worship you. Om Triambakam yajamahe. It says the fragrance from your being brings prosperity and nourishes. Sugandhim pushtivardhanam. It says, remove from me all unhealthy attachments and disease and free me even from death consciousness. And it says, don't withhold from me. Don't keep away from me. Immortal consciousness. Your consciousness. So this is the prayer. So we offer this prayer for the healing of our planet, for the protection of our planet, for the nourishment of our planet. And we repeat it together. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhem pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mokshiyam mamrita. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhem pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mokshiyam mamritat. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhem pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mokshiyam mamritat. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhem pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mokshiyam mamritat. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mokshiyam mamritat. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhem pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mokshiyam mamritat. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhem pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mokshiyam mamritat. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhem pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mokshiyam mamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much, everyone, for, again, a marvelous energy field that we co-created. I'm always inspired by these sessions. I become energized by these sessions, and my creativity is heightened. So I want to thank you for that. You make this happen. And I look forward to video streaming in the morning. Of course, we wouldn't have the conversation in the morning, but we are offering you the streaming. So I'll be there for morning meditation over the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, for the talk and meditation in the morning. So be with us as we continue to sustain these energies through the meditative process. Again, even if we have to be apart from each other, we hold each other in that energy field. So I've been hugging your hearts, and I know that you've been hugging my heart. So I want to thank you for that. And let's pray for each other that we'll all stay strong together. Okay? Om Sahana Vavatu. May we be protected together in the divine. Sahana Bhunaktu. May we be nourished together in the divine. Sahaviryam Karavavahe. May we be strengthened together in the divine. Tejasvina Varitamastu. May our knowledge be full of light from the divine. Mavid Vishabhahe. May we always remain united beyond differences. Om, peace, peace, peace. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Thank you very much, everyone. So I look forward to seeing you, well, you seeing me tomorrow morning at 6. Thank you for the meditation this evening. But I will look into the camera tomorrow morning and I will feel your presence with me. Thank you so much. Namaskar, everyone.